Good morning. How are you on this? It's a very, very cold day here where I am. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's cold here. And I particularly do not enjoy cold weather very much, but it is nice and sunny, so that's okay. And I can just sit in the sunshine inside and pretend that it's warm. But happy new moon in Capricorn. So we have this new moon in Capricorn coming up. And this moon has always been very special to me because I have a moon in Capricorn. And it is something when I found out that my moon was in Capricorn, that it was like a light bulb went off. It was like I have a sun in Aries, which is very different from a moon in Capricorn. And so when I was growing up, I would read all these things about Aries and how they were the life of the party and just wanted to just be out with everybody and having fun, and that was true for me to a certain extent. And I do definitely have a lot of Aries traits like impatience and wanting to get things done, just wanting to do something. But I didn't understand why I, instead of wanting to go to the party, I'd rather plan the party. And that was my moon in Capricorn, wanting to create something, wanting to have somewhere, create something step by step that other people can enjoy and that I could enjoy and that I would feel good about. So it was really one of those kind of aha moments in my life. And so, this moon in Capricorn has always been very special to me. And I've always liked, working with this time of year and when the moon is in Capricorn and during other times and other phases. So today we're going to work with this new moon in Capricorn. And so we're going to do a reading and then we'll do a ritual together so that you can, and I'm going to as well, have an intention, set an intention for this moon cycle and taking in this Capricorn energy, this earth energy, this very energy of I want to build something, I want to see something grow. And so using that energy after the reading and do the ritual, and that would be great for today and take us into this new moon that's coming up on Sunday. So again, I will have the reading, the questions in a post on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I'll have the questions for you later on as well. But right now, we'll just do the questions and do the cards together. And today, I'm using the Magical Hours Tarot that I'm studying this month, and I have been using this deck for a while now, and so next week probably I'll have a video on this deck and let you know how I like it. But today is the new moon in Capricorn, and there are 5 questions. And the first one is climb. So what will help us climb even higher during this lunar cycle? And so here we have the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is moving from one place to another. Moving, you can see this person moving from kind of choppy waters, moving towards something that is a little bit more calm. And so during this cycle, it might start out in something that we're very unsure about, and somewhere that we don't feel quite secure or quite grounded. But this Capricorn energy is going to come in. It's very grounding, and it's going to help us move on to that place where we want to move on, that place where we want to be, where we want to go. So using that 6 of Swords energy of knowing that things might be a little rocky, but it's okay because you can move, you can do it. Take some action steps and move forward into that new place. And then the second question is about organization. How can I better be organized in the coming weeks? Now, having a Capricorn moon, I do enjoy organization. I do enjoy planning. I enjoy writing things down, making lists, checking off the list, getting things. And it kind of goes into my Aries sun with that cardinal energy, because, and the Capricorn, the cardinal energy there too, is wanting to do something and have a project and have something there. And so you might not be so organized. You might not feel like, making a to-do list might just be, just like horrible. And if that's the case, don't try to fit yourself into somebody else's organizational mold. Look at how you can definitely, how you like to plan, how you like to approach projects, and do it that way, and use this Ace of Cups energy to help you do that. So you can be better organized by using this Ace of Cups, by listening to your heart, by listening to your intuition, by listening to what your heart is telling you, what your body's telling you of how you like to stay organized. And then lean into that. How do you like to stay organized? I know that for me, having a planner, having things written down, having a checklist is the best way that I can plan. And I need to do it in short bursts. I'm not a long-term planner either. I'm not, when somebody says, what do you want to do? What are your goals for next year, or in 5 years, or in 10 years? And I think, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I can plan for tomorrow and next week, but I cannot plan, I don't enjoy planning long term. So that's one of the things that I have had to work on. And sometimes it's important. And so look at that, listen to you and listen to your heart, listen to your intuition, and let that tell you how you can best stay organized. Now, resources, Capricorn likes resources. And what resources do we need to gather for success? And here we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is looking backwards, is looking back on something, and especially looking back on fond memories, things that you maybe were, especially from like your past, from childhood, and looking back on that, and and learning from it. And so not stuck and not staying there and staying stuck in the past, but looking back at the past and looking and seeing how it can help you in the future. So look back at the past, see what has worked for you in the past in planning, in reaching your goals, what has helped you, what really fills your cup. Again, we have more cups. So what really fills your cup about getting things done, and about long-term planning, and things like that. So look back at it and see what things that you enjoy. And then overcome. So the sea goat likes to move upwards. The Capricorn energy likes to move up, likes to see things and see progress. Now, that's not saying that there might not be some up and down, and there things that you have to kind of maybe stand still for a while or go backwards a little bit so that you can get to the top. But what's going to help you get to the top, and what's going to help you if you see something that's standing in your way, and it's something that you need to overcome. So what obstacle may be standing in our way of reaching our goals? And this, I love this card. This is the World card. So how can the world, you think, how can that be an obstacle? But the World card, it can be something. You can try to do so many things that you lose sight of the top of the mountain. And so we have all of these things all around us that we think, oh my gosh, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to take this class, and I want to, spend more time doing that, and I want to, do things for myself, and I want to, do all of these things. And so it can be an obstacle. The world can be an obstacle. The world can be trying to do so many things. And so look, really step back and again, listen to that cup, listen to those cups, the Ace of Cups, the Six of Cups. Listen to what your intuition is telling you and what you really, really want to achieve. And the other things, you can say no to it. And because you don't have to say no, and it might just be a no for now. It might be something that I can't do it right now, but I can do it later on. And then finally, we have prepare. So, what can I do? What can we do to prepare for the hard working energy of this moon? And Capricorn definitely has some hard working energy to it. And so, we can be prepared and really take advantage of this time with the Two of Pentacles. I love this card too because I feel like this a lot of times, trying to balance things. The Two of Pentacles is all about balance and trying to balance things, all the things in your life. And most of the time we feel like that we need, six more hands so that we can balance all of these things. But we only have two hands, and in here, she only has two hands, and we only have so much time. We only have so much energy. Only have so much of all the things that we are in the pentacles, in that earthly realm. And so what are ways that we can do that? How can we be prepared for that? And so one thing that we can do is not try to balance everything all the time, and like going back to the world, not trying to do it all at one time, and knowing that sometimes, like just like a scale is going to go up and down, and you take things off one side and add, and it gets added to the other. And so sometimes you have to find that in between place. You have to find that good kind of center place, that good place where you're listening to your intuition, where you're saying yes to the things you want to say yes to, and saying no to the things that you want to say no to, and giving yourself permission to do that. And it's very hard sometimes to do that because we get in a rut, or we get in a place where we really feel like that we have to do it all, where we have to do it and have to do it right now. And the world is saying that can be an obstacle. And to prepare for it, really look, listen, see what's going on and see how you can balance. Are there things that you need to just let go of? And are there things, what are the things that you want to keep most important? So that is the new moon in Capricorn, our reading for this new moon in Capricorn. And this, again, this is one of my favorite times of year, and favorite times, moon wise, one of my favorite times of year, because it does resonate with my moon. And I feel like that it is a good chance for us to really dig in, for us to really, say yes to things that we want to say yes to, say no to things that we want to say no to. And that Capricorn energy is going to give us that. It's going to let us say, I'm focused on this, and this is what I want. This is what resonates with my soul. This is what is filling my cup. And that's where I want to go forward. So let's do a ritual now. Let's set our intention. And you can do this along, you can do this, you can just listen right now along with me as I do my ritual, and then you can do however you feel like that you want to bring it into your life. But I'm going to show you how I do a kind of formal moon ritual, with opening a circle and setting my intention so that I am ready for this moon cycle. So the first thing I'm going to do is open my circle. Now, I don't open circles every day because I feel like that I have a lot of things that I do internally and magically and spiritually in my space, that it kind of keeps, I just kind of renew it and do that, and as when I do it. But when I want to actually do kind of more of a formal ritual, then I will do this. So I want to open my space. So I'm going to use a candle here, and I'm going to go counterclockwise to kind of get rid of any energy that I don't want. Then I'm going to go clockwise to bring in the energy that I do want. So now my space is cleared, and you could use anything. You could use incense. You could use, whatever you wanted to use. Sound. You can use a bell, anything like that. And then I'm going to call in the quarters or the directions. So I call on the spirit of the east with the blowing of the air, the energy of the fairy, bringer of the warmth of spring. I call on the spirit of the south with the blazing of the fire, the energy of the phoenix, bringer of the heat of summer. I call on the spirit of the west with the flowing of the water, the energy of the mermaid, bringer of the cool of autumn. I call on the spirit of the north with the grounding of the earth, the energy of the gnome, bringer of the cold of winter. Walk with me, spirits, and attend to my right. I ask the goddesses, the gods, the ancestors, Mother Earth and Father Sky, to protect this circle as I work within. So one of my intentions for this whole year is to not be plugged in so much, and to unplug a little bit. So I don't want my default when I am bored, when I'm waiting on something, or when I'm, at night when I'm tired, just to scroll through my phone. Now, sometimes, it's good, and sometimes it's what I need. And sometimes I just need that kind of just mindless, activity. But I'd rather do something else. I'd rather read a book, read a real book, and play a real game, or cook real food. So I want that to be my intention. So with this Capricorn energy and this grounding energy and this energy that's going to help me to listen to the things in in the material world, and not get too dug in or sucked into the digital world. So that's going to be my intention for this moon cycle. So I'm going to write this down so that I can put it on my altar, and I will show you the other things that I'm going to do. But first, I'm going to write my intention. So I said my intention is to choose analog over digital. So when I have a choice, and I know that I, instead of just scrolling on my phone, or, playing a video game, I could think, I could play a real game. I could get, some cards and play a game, or I can play, read a book, because, I have lots of books. and a lot of them I haven't read. So, how can I do that? And so that's going to be my intention, is when I have that choice of thinking of, well, can I just, go on Instagram for a few minutes, or can I read a book for a few minutes? And I'd rather choose the analog and not the digital. And not that, digital there's anything wrong with it, and I still use it. I still do, use my phone for so many things, and I'm on, the computer doing this work, but I'd also like to make sure that it balances, like this Two of Pentacles in our reading, that it balances. So I've opened our circle, and I've made my intention. And so now I'm going to offer this intention to the gods and goddesses, the ancestors, the spirits that are here, the four directions, and so that they can walk with me and work with me this moon cycle and help me with this intention. And so with this, for this moon cycle, I've chosen to work with malachite and mullein. This is the mullein. So I have some mullein, just dried mullein in this little selenite dish. So I have these two things. I have a crystal and an herb here, and then my intention. And then I'm going to just ask the Capricorn moon energy to work with me during this cycle so that I will choose analog over digital as my new moon intention. So I'll take this piece of paper, fold it up, and take the mullein and the malachite, and I have right behind me, I have on a shelf and in front of me, but behind you, my shelf where my moon altar is. And so I'll take these things and on Sunday move them onto my altar when the moon moves into Capricorn. And so that is that's my intention, setting my intention in my new moon ritual. And then, of course, now that we've opened the circle, we want to close the circle. And so to close, I thank the goddesses and the gods and the ancestors, Mother Earth and Father Sky, for protecting this circle. I thank the spirits of the North, the West, the South, and the East for attending my rite. The circle is now closed, remaining in my heart. So may it be. And that's it. And that is our reading and our ritual for the new moon in Capricorn. I hope that you definitely enjoyed it. And let me know, what is your intention for this Capricorn new moon? And we can work on it together. And thank you for being here. If you're here live, thank you so much. And if you are watching this on the replay, thank you so much again. And I'll be back again next Friday for a new reading, new community reading for us all together. And I will have some videos posted about the deck that I'm working with and the book that I'm reading for this month and the next couple of weeks up on my channel. So make sure you subscribe and you can get notified. So thank you again. I will see you again soon. Bye.